This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. We are live once again at Casa Humilde 7600 Madison in Forest Park. So come join us. They got amazing beer, great food. We're gonna smash some smash burgers during the game. We've been dreaming about this since last week, but it is the TCSF podcast with the TTNL crew. And we got an OG next to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got OG. We got OG E-Rock over here. We got Ivan from the Tape Never Lies and former Bear Steve Edwards on my left, your right. And it is a pregame show. We're going to talk about everything that makes Chicago great, which is our Chicago Bears. Let's go game day, baby. Bears. We're looking at playing at Minnesota. It is a get-back game. Got to get your lick back, like as the kids would say.
Get your lick back.
Yeah, got to get your lick back. That's what the kids say now. You know, I'm tuned to the streets, man.
Yeah. And
no, it's one of those games you've got to make a statement because they came in and they took one away from us on Ben Johnson's inaugural coaching debut for the Chicago Bears at the season opener. So, and then we lost that game because we gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter. So today we need to make a statement. It's going to be a loud environment. No mistakes. And it's going to be a fun one. Ivan?
Yeah, key is the defense, right? You talked about 21 points in the fourth quarter. We had that game. I thought we were operating well until we weren't. And then you saw the struggles continue and up until they figured something out during the bye week. But again, this just solely falls on the defense today. I think they should be angry. They should be upset. They got embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? They let up a lot of points. And right now, this is the biggest game the Chicago Bears are facing this season. Like, you can't go 0-3 in the division and 0-2 to the Minnesota Vikings and hope that you're going to, battle for a wild card, because you're allowing teams to stick around. Like I said, my thing that I want to see the Bears do is put teams away, put boot to neck and finish them off. And this is the time where you could go ahead and put Minnesota in a predicament where they're pretty much in desperation mode every week, right? Every week they can't make a mistake. So I feel like the Bears right now defensively have an opportunity to change a narrative that they can't finish, or they struggle to put away teams, or they can't get to the quarterback. I think all those things can really find themselves today, and they could have a big game for the Chicago Bears.
Steve, talk to me about playing in Minnesota.
It's one of those games where that was probably one of the worst places to play within the division and the whole NFL as well. It's just, you think about indoor stadiums and they had that, and it's always loud in those places, but Minnesota is just different. And when you get that Viking horn after a big play, it kicks off the game. That's how, now they got the what's that chant? What they call it? The skull chant. That wasn't around when I was there, but the horn has always been there. Back in the day, they had the mascot with the guy. I think they don't no longer use him. The guy will come out on the motorcycle, the Viking. But the horn, it was something that was just so annoying. And we used to call it, you want to control that horn, meaning we want to limit how much they're using that. Because if you hear that thing going off constantly, that means they're making big plays. And it's a bad sign. So what we want to do is limit how much they use that horn today. With all the things we talked about, staying on schedule is going to be seemingly that's something that the Bears have been cleaning up. The penalties, the pre-snap penalties offensively, penalties as a whole team. We have to go into this game in this type of environment and control all of that in order to put ourselves in this position to win and play, get back to the run game even more, lean on it even more. Obviously we're going to be dealing with a Brian Flores front that comes with all kinds of exotic blitzes, but Ben Johnson has had success against him in Detroit, and Caleb has had some success against this in the past. So obviously you think about the first game, that's a totally different when you think about that, that's a totally different team now. The thing you want to see is Caleb be on time, and I think you start seeing that last week. We got to put it all together today, man. You have to, in order to split this. You got to split this game with Minnesota when you start looking at the Green Bay game and Detroit. This one you have to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to make sure, like Ivan was saying, was that we find a way to balance out the division, because we can't let all these teams go up ahead of us, especially considering how tight that wild card is right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and then the fact that if we beat them and Detroit loses, now we're in first place.
Correct. Right. For now.
Look at us. Look at us
now. I mean, it's a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think one thing we really got to focus on is the run game, absolutely, because you got to make sure you get Monangai back involved, you get Swift involved. And I think a really key target that the Bears are going to have to focus on today is Colston Loveland. When they actually got him involved, you see the way that he's able to move after the catch, the way that he's able to get through tackles. He has a speed that Cole Kmet has never had.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet gets the ball, he's on the ground.
Just a better athlete overall.
He just is. And Cole Kmet has a place on the team. Mm-hmm. But as far as like being the leading tight end receiver on the team, it's got to be Colston Love.
Right.
Ivan, we're looking at the injury report. TJ Edwards still out. Jalen Johnson is out. Jahade Walker is out. And Brisker is questionable, but I'm assuming he's going to be playing today. He's got a bad back or something. On the Minnesota side, we've got Jonathan Greenyard out, and that's their linebacker, and their center Ryan Kelly is out. Everyone else is playing. So
losing a center is huge, right, Steve? I mean, you're losing your captain in the middle of that offensive line, and then especially when you have a young quarterback, and he's not a rookie, but this is his first year starting, and his struggles have been well documented. So losing your center is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, you want to take, especially in this Dennis Allen's defense and what he's been doing in the past several games, which is bringing up guys in mug blitz looks and dropping the back. You don't know who's coming. Mm-hmm. Similar to some of the things he does, is not as crazy as Brian Flores, but they're very similar when they're bringing all kinds of guys up to the line of scrimmage, and you don't know who's coming, and you need your guy to be there. And this game is interesting. You start thinking about it. You think of the terms of that center, but you think of the terms of this interior offensive line, how much different they are now and how well they're playing. Even since the Ravens game, there's been growing pains. But, when I listened to Olin talk about this several weeks ago, where that middle is going to take some time. That's a combination and it's like, man, how did I forget about that? When you talk about your left guard, center, and right guard, how you have to all be on that same page. The whole O-line is a group, but obviously those guys in the inside, how to be on the same level when we passing off twists, how we handle Mike Sam blitzes, being on the same level. So that group is playing way, if you want to look at a thing that might help us a little better than what we had in that first game, is that group being on board and being on the same page and playing better together with Chris Dahlman, understanding the offense and calls and everything. So, and also Caleb understanding what's going on a little bit better. So that should help us in terms of handling that stuff.
Steve, how do you handle the noise, especially as an offense that needs to be on a good cadence and a good on time? And we've seen the pre-snap penalties. So how do you address that in such a loud environment?
You just gotta. You do that during the course of the game week, and during practice, and it's hard to say. You can't ever. You can have those loudspeakers going at practice and implement it as much as possible, but you're never gonna, get that same environment till you get to game day. What you're working on is that communication base, that silent communication, understanding what you're seeing, and it's just a look. Maybe, I don't have to yell out too much, but we see it. When you get everybody to see it, and you got, you're able to just like, hey, there's no miscommunication. I see what I see. You see what I see. We make one call. I hear you, and we got it. When you not knowing what's going on, and you can't hear, and you can't, so that's going to be the key. Caleb having a strong cadence and being on time with his cadence. I think that was something you saw early in the year where the offsides weren't just on the offensive lineman, it was on Caleb, probably his voice inflection.
Yeah.
That's something we haven't seen in the last few games. So he needs to keep that together. So I'm looking for all those things not to creep back into this game that we've cleaned up in the last couple of weeks. We have to keep the pre-snap penalties down and stay on schedule, meaning we getting up to the line of scrimmage, in and out of the huddle. And then I meant to say this last week. One thing Caleb has done, and you start seeing him comfortable, he's starting to move receivers. They're in the wrong spot. If anybody's never haven't noticed that in the last couple of games, there'll be a receiver on the right side. He's waving them over to get to the left. That means your quarterback is starting to get under control of this offense and is taking command in this offense. And that's what you want to see with Caleb.
Jimmy, center Ryan Kelly is not playing today.
So officially out.
Was that what he said?
Ryan Kelly, yes, center.
He was asking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's out with a concussion. I thought I'm like, are you questioning me, sir?
I think an important piece of the puzzle today is Theo Benedict. If he can stay there, because he's been the one where you see with these pre-snap penalties.
Yes.
But I will say, since he's came in and took over, I mean, he's done a phenomenal job. You see that the way that they're able, like I said earlier, to be able to run the ball. You saw the impact that it made on a guy like Casa Humilde. All of a sudden, bam, right? And Darnell Wright. Okay, can we talk about the last actual TCSF poster that I ever made was when he was drafted. It's the pancakes one, if you remember that.
Yes,
that was
I
one
do.
of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
And all you see is doing it. They call him the unicorn. I'm waiting for him to get his opportunity to catch a pass. I think if they go up big today, he's catching a pass. Maybe a touchdown. We're going to see some fridge action.
I could see it. I could see that happening. Like I said, and you're right. Theo Benedict has done a phenomenal job stepping in as a left tackle. Pass rush is still in question. Is he the left tackle of the future? I don't know. But regardless of that, for his talent and what he's done so far, he's done a great job for us. But I would like to see a cleaner pocket for Caleb Williams today. And last week and I know they had great pass rushers, but again, that has been a consistent where you're constantly seeing free rushers, not only on the outside, but right in his face. And I would like to see the pass pro for the Bears offensive line be cleaned up, especially today.
Yeah, and that's coming from the tackles position. You saw even Darnell, as great as he even mentioned it when he was talking about everybody was so enamored with that spin move that he destroyed Burns. But he also mentioned a couple plays before that Burns got him, and Burns is playing at an elite level this year. There's been some leakage. They played against one of the most talented defensive fronts in the NFL. So what I'm expecting, even though it's on the road, I'm expecting them to have a little more confidence in who they're going against. They got some threats on the end. Who are they? I know the Alabama DN, more of a speed rusher. Can't think of his name. Let's pull up the D line real quick. And this, while we're talking about who are the threats here, and for the Minnesota Vikings, and I forget his dang name. We're pulling it up here in a second. For the Minnesota Vikings, edge rushers, because that's going to be important. Because once we start getting a little more firm on those edges, that's going to, you see, because the inside, there's locking things up, and that's allowing Caleb to stay in the pocket. And even when he does get outside rush, he's able to see those guys and spin out. It's when the pressure's coming up
straight at him. Yeah.
But imagine when we start locking up the edges in the middle, it's just going to make everything a lot better for him. He's going to have quicker decisions. And we're looking at,
I think you're talking about Javon Hargrave. That's the main guy, I believe.
Yeah, Hargrave. We got, Hargrave gave us a tough time last game. He gave Jonah Jackson the business in the second half. In the second half, he's one of those get off the ball, quick step guys. And he was doing that in Chicago first game when it was a loud environment. So being at home, that's somebody we're going to have to neutralize. And like I said, they're playing at a different level.
Jonathan Allen out today?
Jonathan, let me pull that up. Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we said.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess you get a break there going against a backup in that sense. But I mean, like even Ivan Pace Jr. I mean, we've seen him do really good things, especially in that first game against the Bears. You know, so I mean, look,
Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner.
He's one of those guys who's a speed rusher who I can see them throwing on Theo, you know, trying to challenge because that might not work with Darnell, but you could see Dallas Turner getting turned loose on Theo, and Theo's had a little bit of issue getting out of his stance.
Yeah.
Quick feet, but like I got to give him props that he's you know, instead of he's almost a distant memory. I can't even remember his name. Who we had in there prior.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Our left tackle.
I can't.
Why can't I remember our left tackle that Ivan, our left tackle who used to be in there since Theo took over for? Why?
I'm glad I forgot.
Yeah,
Everyone forgot.
I think everybody wanted to erase him out.
Braxton Jones.
Braxton Jones.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think, man, that's pretty bad. I knew one of y'all going to come with it. I think everybody has done the Men in Black.
But you know what? He was the guy because he was drafted by the Bears. We wanted him to do well. We kind of like boosted him up. They're like, okay, if that's who they have, then I'm fine with it. But then eventually just became not fine. Benedict came in and basically scooped that job right from underneath him just by going in, you know?
Yeah, he was never supposed to be they forced him into left tackle. Like fifth round, you're supposed to be developing. And again, like I said, I always thought he'd be a great swing tackle. Like he'd be fine at swing tackle. He could do the job for you, but as a, you know, the anchor, he never anchors. That's a problem too. So he never anchors. But yeah, the struggles there have been well documented. But again, Theo Bennett has been doing a phenomenal job, you know, as much as he can. You know, with the pass rush. Like Caleb's doing the rest. So it's kind of it's not necessarily a moot point because you want to be cleaned up, but as long as we can continue to keep Caleb clean and Caleb can keep himself clean, I think we'll be fine.
I think it's just good to keep a perspective real quick as we move on.
Yeah.
That okay, Theo's done a great job. It's been an upgrade, but let's not get stuck on him. You know, I would like to see if he can grow in that position, but let's not get stuck on him. If we need to get an upgrade, we got an opportunity. Let's upgrade. But right now, he's done a phenomenal job, and I think he's still a young guy, so there's still room for him to grow. But let's not say he's the guy yet.
No, I mean he's won the position for the rest of the year.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Braxton Jones has no push on him anymore, right? So, and then you got Trapillo, and we still, you know, he's so raw. We never know what's going to happen with him. But I mean, you know, we've seen him move on both sides. By the way, Jonathan Allen not out. He's actually in, but he was off for old. That was his designation. Just the rest.
Yeah, it was the other Jonathan.
Yeah.
Ivan, talk to me about your guy, Monangai, and his role in today's game.
It's got to be, I think it's got to be the feature. I think he needs to be the feature role. You talk about blitzes. I think if you run Monangai and let's say he runs into a blitzing linebacker, heck, I'm not necessarily guaranteeing that linebacker's coming down with a tackle. You've seen how many times he's breaking tackles on the first guy's pretty much a guarantee to have a struggle bringing him down, if he could bring him down at all. So I would say running Monangai, running power, running down their throat is my key to the game, especially on offense, because then you wear down that middle, you get Swift into space later on in the game, right? You got to have that balance, but then you got to pump the play action, and by that time, I could see Caleb Williams with the tired defense taking advantage with not only his arm but his legs. So to me, it's run Monangai and wear this defense out.
I mean, we saw that, you know, Swift come back last week and have good runs. And he looked like his job, he knew his job was in jeopardy of being the feature back. And you know what? We have a two-headed monster if it's used correctly, like they did in Detroit. So yes, make Monangai the bruiser and let him get all the yards and give other guys concussions. And then because he knocks some people's head off. Yeah, he does. And then, you know, you have Swift as a change of back pace, and, you know, you can use him in a pass game as well, roll him out, and you have Caleb have a safety valve that he can use along with Loveland. Again, I see Caleb being able to use all of his weapons today.
Yeah. In
this loud environment, he's going to have to rely heavily on his safety valve, because they have a great defense that's going to be putting a lot of pressure on him. So talk to me about who is going to get the receptions today, because every single game new guys getting receptions.
So I think the main goal right here, and just thinking about the fact that it is a loud environment, we know that we're trying to, purge the horn or whatever it is, suppress the horn. But I think one key that you're going to see today, I think ever since the draft, when you saw them get excited to play together, right? You said Romo Duze and you say Cardiac Caleb, because that's what I'm calling him from now on, because he's giving me a heart attack every damn week. So Caleb and Rome. Here's the problem. Rome has had an issue with the drops, right? Ball hits you in the hand. I don't care what sport it is. It's baseball, it's softball, football, anything where you have to catch the ball. If it hits your hands, you must catch it. Mm-hmm. So that's a big thing. I think when you talk about his safety, who's going to get the receptions today, I think Rome is going to be a main target, but he's got to pull that ball in. I wanted to say something else too that Ivan was touching on a little bit. Who was the hot running back coming out of the draft this year?
Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty. Okay. Ashton Genty is 5'8", 208 pounds. Casa Humilde, 5'8", 207 pounds. Mm-hmm. So you look at a similar playing style, they might have had the diamond in the rough, just randomly plucked them out and threw them in the thing.
In the seventh round.
In the seventh round. But here's the thing, too. We talk about the feature back versus, your back or whatever you want. I think if you watched any Lions games in the past few years, you already know that in order for this offense to be successful, you need both running backs. And I think that no one knew what to see out of Shayne Marsaw. The difference between him and Genty is everyone watched film on Genty. Everyone knew what he was going to do. Marsaw just came out like a little bowling ball and just started knocking people over. It was like, where did this guy come from? So you look at the difference in the way that he runs up the middle, right down the gut, and then you look at Swift when he gets on those out routes. I mean, that's the big difference right there. But overall, again, I will go back to Rome Odunze being the main target because I think there is a certain comfortability, a certain the way that he felt so comfortable with Keenan Allen last year. You knew that Rome was going to go into that role eventually, and he's there now. And he's got to be, if you want to be successful in the long run, if you want to really, I think, blow out this team, Rome has got to get the ball early down the field and then get into the end zone. No more of this 3 points in the red zone. That's insane.
I think Rome needs to catch the ball when we need him to catch the ball in critical moments. Like he is catching the football, and that's part of why his dad posted what he did. But it was a misunderstanding of what the frustration is, right? It's critical downs, critical situations in the end zone. That's where he needs to catch the ball. I think Rome will be fine. But again, the criticism of a top 10 pick shouldn't. It should be just that. It should be, hey, man, you're a top 10 pick, catch the football. I know Mike's talking about Luther Burden. That's where I wanted to jump off to. Luther Burden needs to be a factor today. Zacchaeus, I'm not saying to go ahead and bench him or whatever, but Luther needs to get some targets. He's earned this. He's earned it. We've waited all season long. Every time it seems like he gets the ball in the passing game, he's getting yards after catch. And not only that, he's catching the ball in critical downs and critical moments for us. So I think it's time to unleash Luther and get him some touch.
I feel like they've been using Luther Burden as like a secret weapon, right? Because you know the talent that he has. You've seen him. And then all of a sudden he leaks out. Everyone's looking at where's Loveland? Oh, he had a couple of, hey, look out for the run. All of a sudden here's Luther just right. Drop right. I mean,
they needed the weapon is already. I don't think it's a secret. I just think you need to use it.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get it, but they just need to use it.
Y'all forgot about this guy.
Yeah, I get it. That just the Bears seem to forget about him. Yeah. That's my problem. The Bears seem to forget about him too. So it's time to unleash.
Yeah, I just think you kind of go back to obviously some of the things that came out early. About the trust that he understanding of the offense and. Yeah, we see him make big plays, but we're not behind the scenes. And it could be a thing where until he gets comfortable with the routes but he seemingly, when the ball is in his hands, he's making plays. And at that point, as a coach, even if he's, I'm hoping that he's gained the trust of Ben, but even if he's not there yet, you see the impact he has when he gets the ball. So you, as a coach, like, hey, this guy might not have the full concept, but he's an impact, and we got to figure out a way to get him involved.
Like, this is the thing that we know he can do well.
Yes.
We're going to do keys of the game?
Yeah, we can run through that.
Go first.
No, I'm not going first.
Keys of the game. I'm going to go with the run game has to be very present and prominent. You're indoors. You're on turf. You're not on that crappy field, that Soldier Field. Especially in that loud environment. Caleb's going to have to get into a groove of his offense, like we were talking about with the silent counts. Again, putting that running game and taking time of possession away from the Vikings, the less they can have the ball, the better. Mm-hmm. And I really think if they use that two-headed monster and use it very well, they can just march up and down the field because our offensive line is really good in the run game. So I want 100 yards from each one of these running backs, and I want Caleb another mistake game. That's what I'm looking at.
Mistake-free game.
Mistake-free game. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
What's the score?
I'm going to go 30-27 Bears. You're up.
I'm up. All right. So I think realistically, Justin Jefferson, you got to control him. I mean, here's the thing. Honestly, I don't think you can. No, I really don't think you can. I think he's gonna tear the cover off, and he's gonna be down the field. And next thing you're looking up. That's why it's so important again for Roma Dunze to be out there to be that same player. But I think it's also important to stuff the run game and force JJ to throw the ball because he's going to make a mistake. This is what his 5th or 6th start ever. He's drafted the same draft class as Caleb, and he's had far fewer games. He's has injury issues. I'm not saying to hurt the kid, but I'm saying
hurt the kid.
In his face.
Put him down.
Get in his face. Put a helmet in his chest. Like knock him down because
make him uncomfortable, right?
Make him very uncomfortable, and then don't let Aaron Jones go out there. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason running up. Do not let you're still missing T.J. Edwards, right?
Yep.
So you got what Noah? I forget his name.
Noah Sewell.
He's got to be there, and it's funny because last week he did have a penalty, but it was a nonsense it was a late hit on the quarterback, and it's like, dude, it's we keep seeing these guys kind of like goofy. They have to protect the quarterback. We know what you're doing, but I mean, I think overall he's done a good job. He's just not T.J. Edwards, and that hurts him in the run game. So again, you talked about run game being a goal of theirs to get down the field.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to sit there and allow Justin Jefferson to get behind you, you better be doing the same with Rome. Because at least punch him in the mouth early and then control time of possession for the Bears is going to be key. I'll take that as my key.
There you go. Time of possession.
Score.
I'll give 24-20.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Big Steve.
I'm not going to give one thing, but I'm going to just touch. It's so many facets of the game. You got to win, right? But just go right down the line. Offense. We got to stay on schedule, limit penalties, run the ball. And I need the young guns to step up. I'm looking for the Colson Lovelands and the Luther Burdens and Casa Humilde to get involved. I need the three-headed young guns step up and have a big game. I think that's going to be important to our success that for this road game that they kind of come of age on the road and have a big part of this victory today and offensive success. Special teams, I'm not expecting any big plays from you guys, but just don't allow the big play. Right. Don't allow the big play.
Right.
Don't allow the big yardage. I in the return game, I'm not expecting nothing from you guys, but don't allow the big play from the opposing team. Defensively, we got to stop the run. We can't, we're going against a young quarterback. What's the quarter? We say it for us, run the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
To support Caleb. Let's let them have a successful run game with to get JJ McCarthy comfortable. And hey, let's not let JJ McCarthy run around like Dart did.
Yeah.
And he did. If you think about that first game, right? He ran and scored that touchdown, and he got the run. If they do, make them pay the price. Make them pay the piper. But let's stop the run. And I think at that point, if we could control that, we could play more into the game of what this defense is strong at, is maybe causing some turnovers. But if we get they running rapid and run game, that gets us all out of sorts. So stop the run and cause turnovers. I think that will happen. So those are my keys. And the score of the game, I'm going to go Bears 35, Minnesota 24.
Oh,
we like that.
All right.
Ivan.
Yeah, like I said, Wednesday, I'm going to go, I believe it was Bears 34, Minnesota 20. I believe it was somewhere like that. Regardless, Bears win. my keys to the game, obviously, it's the defense. Like I mentioned at the start of the show, you got to put pressure on this kid. On 9,
make him a 0, right?
That dumbass
Oh, my
nickname that he
goodness.
gave himself.
After
Who
that,
gives
man.
himself? Who
Hey,
gives themselves
are
their
we-
own nickname, man?
Hey, man. Okay,
Like,
we didn't take care of Jackson Dart,
Yeah.
but JJ McCarthy kind of falls underneath the same line of like kind of like douchey.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, Jackson Dart with all his dancing
Yeah,
last
yeah.
week, and then JJ, well, I'm 9.
I'm not. Yes,
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I
No, it's all
just had
good.
to
No,
jump in
you're
on
right.
that.
No, you're
No,
right.
you're good.
You're right.
That shit drove me crazy.
No, just smack him in the mouth for that, and talk about it all game long. If it got to the point where it was rough for him, there like throughout the game, I would just be taunting him the entire time. I mean, like obviously not enough to get a penalty, but I would be dogging him for
chirping all game.
Oh, yeah.
chirping for just how do you give yourself your own nickname, man? how do you just create your own alter ego? Like, come on now,
All right.
that's crazy.
Chris
Well,
Haynes.
Yeah,
It sounds like LeBron.
Hey,
right. But put him, smack him in the mouth. I want the defense, and I think the defense can get. I see 4 sacks, 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions.
I love it.
I like
That's
that.
what I want.
Turnovers right there. That would be nice. But that's my point, and that's what everyone's been saying. Stop the run, force them to throw the ball.
Mhm.
Take advantage of the fact that you can catch the ball in your backfield. You know.
All right, so we're gonna be back at halftime on the TTSF channel. You can check out the halftime show with TTNL as well. Where do you check that out?
Oh, the patron side.
There we go.
www.
Yeah, again, we are at Casa Humilde.
Neverlies.com.
It nevers. And oh yeah, look at that. We are at Casa Humilde 7700 Madison in Forest Park. Come join us for a smash burger. Amazing beer selection. We're gonna taste all the beers again, and we'll be back at halftime. So check back with us.